Good afternoon. I'm pleased to invite you to a private party. You'll see various detective writers this weekend on Turkey Island at this party hosted by Miss Maple. As a formality, Miss Maple asks all here to silence any and all cell phones. Remember, don't use your real names and enjoy your stay at Ravenswood Manor. The storm's brewing. I can feel it in my bad toe. Miss Maple! Miss Maple, your guests are coming up for the dog.
Must you shout Haversham? No one in this house is deaf that I know of.
Oh, it's you, Miss Islesborough. I thought it was Miss Maple I'd heard coming up for the dog.
Can you see how many have come along on the motorboat?
Not at this distance, but she said they'd all come.
Did she?
New hat?
Never mind about this hat box.
I need to get jangled. I was only asking.
You tend to your duties and I'll tend to mine.
You tend to your duties and I'll tend to mine.
Haversham, have my guests arrived?
Yes, they're coming up to the dock now.
Not one of them will fail to show up, I guarantee it.
But you don't even know them.
That's what'll make this weekend such fun. And you mustn't say I don't know them, I know them quite well.
But Miss Islesborough said you'd all be strangers to one another.
In one sense that is correct, in another sense that is erroneous. And I do wish you wouldn't sniffle, it's distracting.
Yes, ma'am.
And at dinner, please don't wipe your nose on your apron.
No, ma'am.
What's the matter with your uniform?
How do you mean?
Looks large enough for half a dozen people. Can't you take it in?
It doesn't matter what I put on. It'll look like a potato sack.
If you don't sniffle, perhaps no one will notice.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is Rita?
I'm right here, Mrs. Maple.
You startled me. You do have a habit of creeping up on one.
Like poison ivy.
Haversham, you're forgetting yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Rita, where's the guest list? I seem to have misplaced it.
On the desk, Miss Maple.
The most logical place. No wonder I didn't think of it. You're certain you'll be able to handle the kitchen?
Once the cook and the helper get here from San Francisco, it won't be any trouble.
The agency said we could expect them later this evening. It was the best that they could do.
We'll manage. The list?
Beg pardon, Miss Maple?
What?
I'm not sure I understood. You said your guests would be strangers, but they're not.
I mean, I owe them by the rights.
I don't expect Haversham reads a great deal.
Surely you've read a mystery or two.
I can't say that I have. I like dark romances with nurses falling in love with doctors, and maybe a horror comic if the cover's gory enough.
Merciful heavens.
Ladies, please. I insist on decorum at all times.
Of course.
Each guest is a famous mystery writer. He or she is not coming as himself or herself, as the case may be. He or she will arrive as his or her creation.
Creation?
Each of these guests will spend the weekend as his or her alter ego.
I don't think she understands.
I'm trying to.
They will appear as the detective hero or heroine of their books. They will not be using their real names or personalities, and they're coming from all over the country. Jolly fun.
Yes, ma'am.
I do suspect they know of my little project. Few mystery writers don't, despite all the secrecy.
Little project?
It's no concern of yours.
Yes, ma'am.
Just see that the biscuits are warm and the share room temperature. Let's see, we have Louis Fan, the famous detective. Father White, he uses a psychological approach. And Peter Flimsy, he's very much in the Sherlock Holmes school.
He's a student?
Haversham, you're quite hopeless.
I expect him.
Run down to the beach and guide them up.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you really think Haversham is suited to this work?
I promised the parole people I would give her a home. We must be patient with her.
Parole people? You mean she's an ex-convict?
I mean, she's still a convict.
Still a convict?
Stop repeating everything I say, Rita. You're sounding like a minor bird. The truth is simple enough. She's on a work program.
A work program? Oh, sorry.
If she works out well, her sentence is reduced, and she's put on permanent parole. Much will depend on my report.
What was her crime?
I don't recall exactly. Someone pleasant with a hatchet, I believe.
A hatchet?
Compose yourself, Rita. There'll be quite enough melodrama when my guests arrive. Chandler Marlowe. Now there's a man to reckon with. Seedy, down and out, but intelligent in a brutish sort of way. A true male chauvinist.
I wish I'd known about Haversham before I took this job. She does not like me, you know.
And Rick and Laura Carlyle. What a witty couple. So sophisticated, so urbane. I'll enjoy their company.
Unpleasantness with a hatchet can mean almost anything. What if the storm is as bad as the one last week? We were cut off for 2 days.
We're well stocked with foodstuffs. No worry.
Haversham. I recall the name. It was a famous case.
I must say I had second thoughts about inviting Charity Hayes. A bit too much like James Bond for my taste. Still, she's a superb bridge player. All in all, a delightful menage. Wonder if they're here yet.
They could be.
Could you perhaps go ask Haversham?
Come along now, Miss Maple will be waiting.
They've arrived. Excellent.
Ah, you must be Miss Maple. Delighted to meet you.
I'm not Miss Maple.
I am Miss Maple.
Of course, delighted to meet you.
You must be Father White.
How'd you guess?
Hardly a guess. Your clerical collar.
First rule of psychological detection, disregard the obvious. I could be Louis Fan in disguise.
Touche. You're a master. My social secretary and companion, Miss Islesborough.
How do you do, ma'am?
Welcome to Turkey Island.
You know, as I recall, there was only one other island in history that's been called Turkey. A battle was fought here in the Algene Sea, 4th century BC. Spartans versus the Maltese.
I don't think there's any connection. This island used to be a turkey farm.
Please make yourself comfortable. Sharing more biscuits shortly. I wonder who this could be.
Take a look at this thin nose, sister. These gray eyes, this jaw of stone. It ain't Charity Hayes.
No, it ain't. You're a wonder, Mr. Marlowe. Your dialogue is infectious.
I know.
My social secretary and companion, Miss Islesborough.
How do, sister?
Welcome to Turkey Island.
Please be seated. Sharing more biscuits shortly. Unmistakably, Miss Fan.
First rule of bias detection, disregard the obvious. I could be Laura Carlyle.
My social secretary and companion.
No need. Overhead on the balcony. Welcome to Turkey Island. What's the unusual portrait?
How good of you to accept my invitation. I know you anywhere, Mr. and Mrs. Carlyle.
Not necessarily. They could be the cook and the helper you're expecting.
We're going to have such a good time. You brought your little dog.
We couldn't bring along a real Bow Wow.
Get seasick.
I said to Laura, who's gonna know Rick and Laura without their pooch Napoleon?
Almost anyone.
Do make yourselves comfortable.
Sharing more biscuits shortly.
Welcome, welcome, Mr. Flimsy. Delighted to have you on Turkey Island.
I could hardly resist a weekend at any establishment with the name of Ravenswood Manor. Conjures up pictures of the English moors. Dark, brooding, mysterious.
Oh, you talk the way you write. Splendid. My spinal fluid has turned to frost.
He's a continental gentleman, Laura.
What of a vanishing breed, Rick?
Don't look sanitary to me. Slobbering all over a dame's knuckles.
Do I detect the dubious charm of Chandler Marlowe?
Park it here, Flimsy.
Is this everyone?
I believe so.
Miss Maple, there's one more.
One more?
Charity Hayes.
Silly of me, I forgot. No need to keep us waiting, Miss Hayes. Come on in. Come in, Charity.
Charity Hayes is some woman. Come on in, Charity.
I don't think my sniffles are clearing up, Miss Maple. I might be coming down with something.
Where's Charity Hayes?
Who? What's in this room is it?
She wasn't on the boat with us. We assumed she arrived early.
I've never had an invitation of mine ignored.
Maybe she'll come along in another boat.
Unless the storm blows up. Go along, Haversham. Fetch refreshments.
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder who does her dresses.
I thought we'd all just snack until dinner time. I do hope everyone likes blue cheese fondue.
I'll see that everything's prepared upstairs.
Thank you, Rita.
Interesting woman, that Miss Islesborough. Has she been with you long?
Barely a month. Why do you ask?
In the moment itself, I shall harvest my deduction.
There's no need to act so mysterious, Miss Chan. Fan.
We're gonna sit around and chew the fat.
It's either that or blue cheese fondue.
Let's chew the fat.
Please, please, dear guests, we mustn't get off subject. There are ground rules.
I'm concerned about the storm.
There's absolutely nothing to worry about.
What was that?
I'll handle this.
Miss Maple? Miss Maple? Miss Maple?
What's wrong with the young woman?
Miss Maple?
Get a hold of yourself!
She's hysterical.
I don't see anything amusing in her condition. Haversham, take a deep breath. Another. Good. Now tell us what happened. Why did you scream like that?
That's the only way I know how to scream.
I mean, what frightened you?
There was a face in the window.
Face in the window!
A man's face.
Can you describe him?
No, he had his nose pressed against the glass.
That's what you get for reading comics with boring covers. Probably the man from the boat.
No, I'd recognize him.
Perhaps it was a peeping Tom.
Riveted Manor would be unsuitable terrain. No one lives here except myself, Haversham, and Rita.
She's got a point.
Storms always frighten Haversham. Have refreshments?
Yes, ma'am.
How long she worked for you?
Not long. Why do you ask?
I seem to recall the face.
It's not one you forget in a hurry, especially in that dress.
Your attention, please. I will now go over the ground rules, and then we shall proceed with our charade. You don't know me personally, and none of you do. You know of my reputation for amusing weekend parties. I am recognized as an outstanding hostess with a fine imagination for all that is bizarre and unique.
The same was said of Sherlock Holmes.
Then I am in first-rate company. You've all done well so far.
You couldn't tell from our literary counterparts.
No, that's what makes it all so charming. However, I insist that you keep up the little game at all times. I forbid you to use your real names. I'll be watching and listening. If the weekend turns out the way I trust it will, you will all receive wonderful news. News that will benefit you. Financially. I trust we're all willing to play along?
Sounds like fun.
I'm with you, sister. All the way.
Chandler, you're a rare customer.
I like to think of myself as well done.
What's her game?
You cannot be serious.
Rick is always serious when he hears the word financially.
Money like sweet-smelling flowers attracts the bumblebees.
You call us bumblebees?
If the shoe fits.
Bumblebees don't wear shoes.
Figure of speech, Chandler. Colorful syntax, by the way. Typical and amusing. Louis fan.
May I ask something?
Be my guest, sister.
Why are we all talking like this? Miss Maple is out of the room.
How do you mean?
We can be ourselves. Relax. Talk normally.
I am talking normally. This is the way I always talk.
Quite.
I wear this collar, but the speech is my own.
Maple's identity seldom finds himself.
Whatever that means.
Laura and I aren't any different in our East Side Manhattan apartment. Right, Napoleon? Bark, bark.
Miss Maple is a most enterprising woman. She's also, as the vulgarism goes, filthy rich, and if she wants to add another scalp to her famous parties list, I'll volunteer mine. I'll enjoy humoring her.
That's generous.
Who are you kidding, Flimsy? Sure, the old Maple Dame is famous for her weekend house parties, but the way I'm hearing it, she's going to be opening up a new chain of bookstores.
Bookstores?
Detective bookstores.
Detective bookstores?
Of course, none of you knew about that, did you? We're all here for the same reason, and it ain't to sample blue cheese fondue.
Forget the fondue.
That won't be easy.
So basically, we're all here to win Miss Maple's favor.
Thus ensuring our detective novels a place on the shelves, as it were.
That's the name of the game.
Well, what of it? I don't imagine the charity case books are going to end up on Miss Maple's shelves. Business is business, and if she wants to play games with the publishers before placing orders, I say, why not?
Bravo.
I assume you're glad about all of this. After all, most of your stuff is out of print.
If you weren't a man of the cloth, I'd have a few choice words for you.
Fans novels aren't doing much better. Even the Nostalgia Book Club turned them down.
Beware of the dragon's wrath.
The only thing dragging about you is your book sales.
This is no way to start a weekend party. This should be a light and happy occasion. How about some music?
Sounds good. I hope the static won't be too heavy. The storm can cause interference.
We interrupt this program of light chamber music to bring you a special bulletin. A dangerous murderer escaped from the Marion County Institute for the Criminally Insane, known only as the Killer of 40 Faces. The prisoner sings a robo at dawn and was last seen heading into a fog bank on the approach to Turkey Island. Now back to our Mozart concerto.
Can it be true?
What about the mysterious face that made so out the window?
40 faces. There's a master of disguise.
Sherry and biscuits.
My congratulations, Miss Maple.
What are you talking about?
The classic touch, of course. I've used it in several of my novels.
Isolated house on a lonely island, and then a television radio flash, mad killer on the prowl.
You're all too clever for me, but I didn't think it was amusing. Too kind, too kind. It's not easy fooling detective writers. Have a shame, said the Sherry.
Let's hear it again.
By all means, it was most amusing.
Couldn't have done it better myself.
Here it goes.
I accuse.
Oh dear, that's not it.
I accuse.
Get it like you had it the last time.
It's all there is.
Step back from the console.
Oh,
I don't understand.
Chandler Marlowe.
Me?
Chandler Marlowe, I accuse you of foul crime. You cannot escape your past.
foul crime.
It's a gag. That's all. Right, sister?
Louis Fan, remember that night in Shanghai? I accuse you of treachery.
I've never visited the illustrious city of Shanghai.
Rick and Laura Carlisle, what does the name Tulip mean to you both? I accuse you of unforgivable deceit.
Tulip? Tulip?
I think I recognize that voice.
Father White, why are you really here at Ravenswood Manor?
I was invited, of course.
I accuse you of sinister motives and shaming your calling.
It would seem you've all been up to some mischief.
Peter Flimsy, what actually happened on the cricket field of Eton?
Eaton. I haven't been there in years.
Charity Hayes, I accuse you of murder.
Murder? I don't know anything about murder. What are you all looking at me for? I'm not Charity Hayes.
You have heard the accusations. You cannot escape. You will be punished.
It's a gag, I tell you.
Miss Maple,
Yes?
what is the real secret of Ravenswood Manor?
Is that all?
That is all.
I can't get anything. It's all static.
You've outdone yourselves, Miss Maple.
Very, original.
Yeah, effective theatrical once again. I've used it in my bestseller, Crime at the Coffin Corner.
I used it in Murder at the Masquerade.
I respectfully submit my title, serialized in several popular magazines. Crime is a puzzlement.
Don't forget I used the gimmick in Murder Mob Sub.
Laura and I used it in the record-accusing ploy Manhattan Murders.
I think I'd like to go to my room now.
Sounds sensible. Could do with a slap of aftershave.
Point the way, sister.
You speaking to me? Oh, of course you are. Sorry, I forgot our little charade for the moment. Through the hall, up the stairs, you'll find your name on the door.
Good night, Miss Maple.
Most delightful interlude, honorable hostess.
Thank you, Miss Moto.
Fan.
Fan?
Her name is Miss Fan.
Yes, of course.
May I present a question?
Please do.
The man in the portrait, your honorable ancestor?
Yes, my father.
His name, please?
His name? Mr. Maple.
Most compelling face, your father. I please to be excused.
What about the biscuits? They'll go stale.
Who put the last tape on the machine?
I thought you did.
Don't be foolish. My tape is the first tape.
I think it scared your guests.
You noticed that too?
They tried to cover up, but I know a room full of scared pigeons when I see them.
We're in for a bad time with the storm, I'm afraid.
The lights might go.
Why isn't Rita here when I need her?
I'm right here, Mrs. Maple.
Rita, why didn't you tell me about this tape?
The tape you put on the machine?
No, the one accusing my guest of dark crime.
I don't know a thing about it, Miss Maple.
What's in the hat box, Rita?
Nothing!
Then why do you carry it?
I better go check my supplies and motorboat and load it on the dock.
She's acting strangely.
A weird customer. I'd keep an eye on her if I was you.
Well, you're not me. Come along to the kitchen. I want to check on the fondue.
I've been poisoned.
Who cried out?
It sounded like Rick Carlisle.
It did sound like Rick.
What do you suppose he was yelling about?
Sounded as if he were in pain.
Maybe he got into the fondue.
Most curious.
What is?
A glass of sherry gone and a missing biscuit.
What of it?
We heard a scream.
On the way to the kitchen.
Please enlighten us, Miss Maple.
About what?
A glass of sherry gone and an absent biscuit.
Who's he?
Louis Fan, well-known detective.
Not her. Him.
It's Rick.
It can't be!
Don't look, Miss Carlisle.
Whatever you think's best.
Is he dead?
Dead.
How dead?
How dead can you get?
The voice on the radio, it said we'd be punished.
What's that?
A figurine?
Broken.
I think I understand. Most classic, as each of us is punished, a figurine will fall from the mantle. 9 figurines, 9 of us in this swim.
3.
Explain, please.
There are 9 figurines on the mantle. There are only 3.
Only 3. Must be just my deduction.
Never mind about that. This is serious. We've got a dead man here.
This isn't turning out as I planned. What does it all mean, Chandler?
It means murder, Mrs. Maple.
Murder?
Murder on Turkey Island.